So in addition to building writing skills, there's lots of other skills that get developed through the use of peer feedback using the Critic platform. And one of them is professional communication. So we live in a world, I feel, where we're very informal with our communication. The faculty members will receive emails that start with "Hey," or "Hey, professor," um, and they're just used to texting their friends, right? They're used to little short bites of communication, and so getting them to communicate professionally. Our health professional programs do that, right? If you're in our MD program or if you're in the nursing program, there's a whole course about communication, but a lot of our science students don't get that. And so it gives them an opportunity to communicate not only with their professors formally, but also with their peers formally. So how do we communicate feedback in a professional manner? Also, when they're providing the feedback, they have to critically analyze what they're giving feedback on. So in our scientific writing course, they're critiquing what they're writing about, but also how well the students are writing. So I'll give you some examples of what that critical analysis looks like. It also builds their confidence. A lot of science students struggle with writing and with writing well, believe it or not. They don't write a lot of essays. They write a lot of lab reports, do a lot of multiple choice questions. And so the purpose of this course and using Critic is to build their confidence with writing. And so Critic helps with that. And then, yeah, just getting them better at scientific writing. So getting rid of that flowery language, reminding them of when you're supposed to use a comma. Those are the things that we look at in this course. And this is what we ask them to critique using Critic. So, as I said, I use Critic as a way of formatively providing feedback to their students. So I have them submit their introduction to Critic. They get the feedback from their peers, and they can take that feedback and incorporate it before they submit it to our TAs for grading. So that's what we're looking at here. We're looking at the Critic data for assignment 1, 2, and 3 before they were able to refine their work and then submit it for grading. So from Critic, we did see an improvement from assignment 1 to 2 to 3. So there were small jumps, but these are high-performing science students. Like these, tend to typically be A students, is our average. And so they're hit pretty hard when they see marks of like in the 60s and the 70s that they hadn't seen before, because they do well with the scientific content, but not well with the scientific writing. So to have an average of Critic data at 75%, 78%, 81%, that's a little bit high. Sometimes the students are a little bit generous with themselves, or they don't want to be too harsh, but it was still nice to see that progression, 75% to 78% to 81%. And in the marked components that the TAs graded, we saw the same increase. So that was nice.